The sun rises on curiosity. Galileo Galilei's journey began in a small city in Italy where a curious boy could not help but wonder about the stars. His earliest experiments with lenses were not just about seeing farther, they were about seeing differently. I remember reading that he once said, "I have found that the moon moves and the sun moves, and I have found that the earth does not shine as bright as the stars." This simple observation taught him that reality is larger than what we see at first glance. The lesson for us is that true wisdom starts with curiosity. When you ask, "What if?" instead of "Why is it?" you open a doorway to discovery. Leading, therefore, is not about giving answers. It is about asking the right questions and encouraging others to do the same. Concrete way to apply: pick a small project at work that you think is a routine task. Ask your team 3 probing questions. Why do we do this way? What if we looked at it from another angle? How could we improve it? Write down any answer and discuss it openly. When curiosity becomes your leadership routine, the entire team will learn to think beyond the status quo. Takeaway: wisdom comes from curiosity, leadership from the courage to ask and listen. Keep a question notebook and revisit it every week. When you challenge assumptions, you lead growth for yourself and for those around you. Like, share, and subscribe to keep growing with wisdom and leadership. Reflexive question: what question are you refusing to ask that could change your path? The power of observation. Galilei spent years polishing and testing glass lenses, not because he wanted to look at planets, but because he wanted to see facts clearly. He famously remarked that, "I think observing the night sky is the best proof of the truth." This isn't just a statement about astronomy, it's a call for leaders to look beyond the obvious. He taught that observation is not passive, it is active. He would gather data, question it, and then act. When he discovered the moons of Jupiter, he did not immediately declare it a new discovery. He gathered evidence, consulted peers, and presented it confidently. This balanced skepticism and confidence is a core leadership principle. Apply this by practicing active listening in meetings. Hear every voice, ask for evidence behind a suggestion, and then synthesize. The result is decisions grounded in fact rather than assumption. When a manager asks, "What evidence supports this claim?" it shows humility, invites collaboration, and reduces groupthink. Takeaway: observation turns data into insight, and insight shapes informed leadership. Train yourself to look, question, and act so you lead decisions that stand the test of fact. Like, share, and subscribe for more wisdom on leadership. Reflexive question: how well do you let data guide your decisions before you form conclusions? Leading through discovery. In 1610, Galilei discovered the moons of Jupiter. He faced ridicule, but he did not retreat into silence. He stood before the Roman authorities and defended his findings with courage and clarity. His trial was not a punishment of science, but a testament to leadership by integrity. His method: use your discoveries to inspire, not to intimidate. He shared his telescope with his most open-minded students, encouraging them to test hypotheses themselves. Leadership, he showed, is about mentoring the next wave of thinkers, not about protecting your place alone. To practice this, become a living laboratory for your team. Start a small innovation hub. Allocate time for experimentation, give your employees the time and trust to test bold ideas. When a mistake happens, frame it as a lesson. When a success happens, celebrate it as a shared victory. You become a leader who builds confidence, resilience, and a culture of learning. Takeaway: true leadership thrives on discovery, and it grows when you hand over the telescope to others. Like, share, and subscribe to ignite leadership in your life. Reflexive question: when did you last encourage someone to experiment, and how did you react if it failed? Telescope of everyday life. The legacy of the telescope is not limited to the heavens. It teaches us to extend our focus, to see patterns, to link seemingly unrelated pieces. When galaxy scientists use this tool, they chart planets. When a manager uses this attitude, they chart opportunities, risks, and people's potential. Take 3 daily practices. 1. Set a focus hour where you ignore distractions and study one challenging problem. 2. Create a moonshot list. Ideas that feel impossible but could change your field. 3. Reflect at the end of each day on what new pattern or insight you spotted. These simple habits sharpen observation and open leadership to innovation. Takeaway: the telescope inside you is waiting for light to flow. Expose it to ideas, embrace uncertainty, and let it guide you and your people toward bright horizons. Like, share, and subscribe to keep your inner telescope focused. Reflexive question: what new perspective are you choosing to look at today that others might miss? Future in your grasp: Galilei did not only look, he imagined. He predicted that the Earth is not the center of the universe. He dared to say, the world is not the center of anything but the center of life. This belief in a bigger narrative of human potential defines visionary leadership. We must now ask, what role does humanity play in its own future? Leaders that embed this vision in everyday tasks galvanize action. Start by making a mission statement for your life or business that transcends profit. When you align goals with a higher purpose, you create a resilient community, a workforce that feels seen, and a vision that guides through turbulence. Takeaway: wisdom flourishes when you remember that individual actions are part of a larger cosmos. Let your leadership be a bright point in that vast space, inviting others to join your orbit. Like, share, and subscribe to continue the journey of wisdom and leadership. Reflexive question: what future vision would you like to ignite in those you lead, and how will you begin creating it today? Conclusion: we have traced Galilei's path from humble curiosity to bold leadership. His key principles, curiosity, disciplined observation, daring integrity, and vision, serve as a compass for us now. If you want to improve, start by turning your questions into experiments, ask for evidence before accepting beliefs, mentor fearless testing, and chart your big picture purpose. The core takeaways are: 1. Question everything. 2. Observe and act on facts. 3. Lead by empowering experiments. 4. Embed a grand vision for your action. Now step forward like the young astronomer did. Put on that metaphorical telescope, look beyond the horizon, and lead with wisdom rooted in discovery. Like, share, and subscribe to keep learning this timeless wisdom of leadership. Final reflective question: in what new area of your life are you willing to look with curiosity, observe deeply, empower bold experiments, and chart a visionary future?